I feel like going. That other story was terrible, man. I have to. That other story was awful. I got to talk about something that's gonna light me up. Uh, this is not enough to make me rage out, but it's just topics I disagree on. But it's not enough to make me rage out or nothing. But I had to do something because the other stuff is heavy. All that I can't do too many heavy topics because it weighs on my energy flow. If that makes any sense, whether you're in Christian realm, spiritual realm, we all understand how energy. You can't take in so much negative stuff, so, or else it'll mess with you. And I have to sometimes I have to kind of chill out and do an anime stream. That's why I mix it up. That's why I don't just talk about things that make me rage. Why I don't talk. Sometimes I talk about heavy topics for entertainment value to get because those are things that I'm more passionate about. But sometimes I also talk about things I can disagree with it and explain and have an intellectual conversation about. I can mix it up. I can mix it up, and I can also talk about things that make people laugh. You have to though. If you don't, um, you got to have a balance, man. I don't. I don't want to just rage out all the time. I don't want to just be always raging out and always just thinking of stuff to go off on. Those specific topics just so happen. Just like Little Mermaid, like I said, uh, I never seen the point in why people getting outraged about it. You know what I'm saying? And it's they taking it to a whole nother level. They take things to the extreme, and we never take those things to that extreme. Hold on one second, guys. Yeah, my yeah, I'm glad my lens has a feature on it. But where are we at? Um, yeah, we're gonna talk about some red pill stuff. Uh, I think I might do a power scaling thing later with Dragon Ball. That's on Dragon Ball. Whoever's interested in Dragon Ball content, like people on my T Dubs Entertainment channel, people that are interested in that stuff, want to see me debunk power scaling people and debunk other Dragon Ball YouTubers. That's anime stuff. 'Cause I got different the audiences that I talk to, like with news, current events, and stuff like that. So anyone that's into that, I'll be uploading the stream later on tonight. Sometime I don't know what time exactly. Not really sure on that honestly, but one day I'll have a Discord and people whoever's interested in whatever type of content I can let them know. Because on this one I'm going to do all different types of streaming, all different types of streaming. So so I'm going to mix it up a lot of times from current events to other interesting topics like this red pill stuff because and the internet is full of red pill stuff, giving guys like faulty, flawed advice and crazy, just crazy, messed up advice, telling people to, telling men to treat women like crap, to ignore women, all this kind of stuff, giving men this, saying that all women are this and that, and and a lot of people have made a living off of it, and a lot of guys have it engraved in their minds. So I'm gonna keep creating content that goes against it. Just like with Dragon Ball, the Dragon Ball community is toxic. You have a bunch of people that's saying the show we grew up on, which is called Dragon Ball. You have a bunch of people saying that it's good now. Dragon Ball Super, it's a series, an anime series. It's terrible, but everyone that's creating content on YouTube saying it's great, saying it's amazing, and lying and milking people for money and things like that. So I create content saying no, this stuff is not good. This is not it. So when I come to even when I do Christian based topics, all across the board, I'm blatantly honest when it comes to no matter if I'm talking about Christianity, no matter if I'm talking about news and current events, no matter if I'm talking about whatever. I'm going to be blatantly honest. I'm going to give it how I see it. It is what it is when it comes to that kind of stuff. I can't sugarcoat because it's just not the way it is. No, you can't learn the truth. You can't because truth demands change. Well, a lot of people don't want to hear the truth because they hear the truth. Now they have to figure out a way to change it because they can't. Otherwise, they'll be living a lie. So in their mind, they're going to try to think of ways to try to change it. So that's why I always try to expose the truth. And it seems to work because my channels are growing on YouTube, and I get certain views on here depending on what I'm talking about. But I guess I don't hate these people, so I'm not gonna be raising or anything like that. I'm just gonna be I'm gonna tell you why I disagree and how relationships actually work and how women actually are. Because I mean, I learned the reality on a lot of stuff when it comes to relationships, and when it comes to stuff like this, relationships. I learned it's better just find a woman that's right for you. Find a woman, you find out who you are, to discover who you are, and find a woman that fits that. Wherever you're going in life, whatever you're trying to do in life, whatever life you're trying to live, you find a woman that fits that mold. That's the only thing you can do. You can't just go out and get these top 10 supermodel chicks and all that stuff. That might not be for you. Whatever you want, the things, just like a vehicle, you might want that vehicle so bad, but you might can't afford it. You might not be willing to do the maintenance it takes. You might want $1 million house, a big, huge mansion, but you might not have what it takes to do the maintenance. You might not have what it takes to pay the cost. You might not be able to pay the $4 or $5,000 light bill that comes with it. Certain things you have to know. Whatever you want in life, you got to know what comes with it. So you got to be realistic when it comes to this stuff. So if you want these these different Instagram chicks or these perfect 10 chicks or whatever you want, whatever type of woman you want, you got to know what comes with her because she's gonna have expectations. It's gonna take a certain amount of whatever that. It's gonna take a certain amount of stuff to maintain that relationship with her. If you're not meeting her expectations, she's not going to want to be with you. She's not going to want to deal with you. It's just the way it is. People aren't programmed to deal with excuses, to deal with whatever it is. Oh, I can't get it because they don't. Aren't programmed to care about that. You got to understand the world for what it is. People are programmed to only respond to results, to progress, to growth, to maturity, to things that are growing. So no one cares what you can't do. They only care about what you can do and able to provide. So if you aren't able to meet a person's standards, they simply aren't for you. That's just all it is. You don't have to have all this red pill philosophy, all this other crap. If you can't meet their standards, they're not for you. That's just it. That's just the only way you can put it. It's nothing else. When you meet a woman that you like, find out what she expects. Find out what she wants in a man. If you take her out to eat, it's why I always say this is my advice. People always taking advice from these old dating coaches and stuff. I'll give you my advice. If you really like a woman, ask her out to dinner. Okay? You ask her out to dinner. You ask probing questions. Ask her, look, like if let's say you're a Christian. Okay, are you saved? Or do you believe in Jesus Christ? Stuff like that. That's if you're a Christian. Do you believe? Do you believe? Because if you're a Christian, you might want somebody that lines up with your faith. Whatever your faith is, you want somebody that lines up with your faith, or at least will be willing to compromise. And this is it. You ask them. You ask them questions to determine, can they complement me? Are they lining up with my faith? Are they lining up with my goals, my dreams? How are you with kids? Do you want to like I said, let's say you want a big family. You're gonna ask them things like, okay, how are you with kids? Do you like kids, or do you enjoy being around children, or do you like to cook, or because I like home cook. I love a home cooked meal. So I'm gonna ask questions like that. How good you are, you know what I'm saying? You like to cook? What kind of stuff you like to cook? What's your favorite dish to cook? You can have a decent conversation and ask these questions at the same time. No, you ask questions and you get to know them to see. Because if they don't, if you love home cooked meals, you prefer a woman that cooks, and she can't stand cooking, she hates cooking. Now you have to determine, okay, should I choose this woman, or can I work with her? Can I show her? Or can I? Now you got to ask yourself questions, and can I deal with this? You ask certain questions to feel her out, to see if see if she can you see what she's dealing with. You find out what trauma she's been through, what certain things she's had to deal with and take. Because if she's been hurt a lot, she's been lied to a lot, she's not going to tolerate a lot of things from you. If she's been hurt a lot, okay, she's not gonna tolerate a lot of stuff from me. If I'm half stepping, she's gonna call me out on it. She might not stick around long. So it's certain things you have to notice when it comes to people, and that's all it is. You find a person that can match your vibe. If y'all uh, can compliment each other, and y'all can get along, and whatever chemistry y'all have, it seems effortless and it's natural, and this might be something worth exploring. So, but if it feels forced, you have to force yourself to enjoy yourself around this person. You have to force yourself to put in energy to please this person. If it's forced, then that's when you have to ask yourself, okay, am I willing to do this for however long it takes in order for the solid foundation to be built? It may smooth out one day, but it could very well be that way forever. So you got to ask yourself. There's questions you have to ask yourself. Are you willing to deal with that until it smooths out, or if it ever decides to smooth out? Um, I'm just saying, it's just realistic. You got to find a person that matches you. Whatever you want to do, the things you want to do in life, where you want to go, how you want to do things, what you want to accomplish, your goals, your dreams, your expectations. You have to find someone that complements that. And it's not all about well, I want this chick off Instagram. I want this other. It's because Fresh and Fit, they spend a lot of their time arguing with Instagram chicks. Those chicks don't, they ain't people you would want to go to for advice, for dating advice. They're using that to build their platform, which is, hey, that's on them. But it's whatever floats their boat. But and they're giving out all this toxic advice to men. You have to find someone that fits you. You have to know you have to know where you are. And a lot of people ask, why aren't you in a relationship? Why aren't you doing it? There are some things I'm trying to get in place first. I'll say this outright. I'll say this outright. Uh, I am working on financial stability. I do have income, but I'm not where I want to be when it comes to that. That's a priority to me because if I get in a relationship right now, I'm still gonna be worried about that. So whatever my mind is focused on and worried about at the time, I'm not very good at multitasking. Some people are, so a lot of guys are. A lot of guys can date and work on that and stuff like that. I'm not very good at that. Me, I'm not very good. So I do things. You have to do the things that fit you and suit you. You have to go down a path that fits you. You can't because someone else says it's okay to do it. You gotta explore. You gotta feel your way through. Like once you get close to your mid 30s and you start learning, you start to learn to do things in life that fits you. You start to go down paths that are more realistic towards what you're able to handle, what you're not able to deal with. So as for me, I can't both try to get to financial stability to where I want to do everything I want to do, and then still try to bring another woman in the equation. Have to date her. Have to worry about getting to know her inside and out. Give her my undivided attention. I can't do that and then still stress about finances. I don't want to do that. I just don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather get this out of the way first before I even think about, just outright just dating somebody. And because it requires your undivided attention. She's going to want, because you have to prove yourself worthy to her. You have to prove yourself that you're not some screw off that just wants to waste her time. So it requires your undivided attention. You have to show her what you're capable of and who you are, because she doesn't know you. So you have to show her. You have to show her something. So you can't half step on that. And I want to be able to give when I'm ready for that step. I want to be able to give it my undivided attention. That's why I'm single, and that ain't simping. I already described what simping was. But once you get to that place, I want to get. I want when I date. I don't want to have to worry about other stuff. I don't want to have to worry about how I'm gonna do things for my children. I don't want to have to worry about how I'm gonna pay certain bills. I don't have to worry about those things. I just don't want to worry about both of them at the same time. It's annoying. I've tried it before. It's annoying. It sucks. It's the worst thing ever. I don't want to worry about that crap. It's too much on my mind. It stresses me out. It gets me to the point of frustrating wanting to pull my hair out. I don't want to. I just rather just focus on one thing at a time. I'd rather get to my finances in order before I even think to bring another woman in. Because when you bring someone else in, they're gonna have expectations of you. It's just who it. No matter who you bring in, they're gonna have expectations. You're gonna have to give them your time, your attention, on all that stuff. So you can't half step on that. They're gonna think something's wrong with you. They're gonna think you're not interested. They're gonna think you're crazy or whatever. They're gonna have conclusions. They're gonna think you're trying to play them, and it's not always the case. It's just your mind may be divided. Your mind might be stressed out. They're not programmed to understand really. It's just because they're wanting what they were created to receive, which is love. They're wanting those things. They're wanting because I'm going to tell you about actions are louder than words and all that stuff. They're going to want what they were created to receive, which is love, which is you showing. If you tell them how you feel, they're going to want to see it in proof. They're going to see it live in action. They're going to see you doing things for them and to show them that you love them. And I can't do that if I'm worried about my finances. If I'm worried about which bill I got to pay to move around and all that. I can't. It's too much brain power to me. With me now, other people might can do that. I'm not that good. I'm just not. That's why I would rather focus on. That's why I'd rather do one thing at a time. Get my finances. I'm doing something with my finances. I'm trying to move some things around. Once I get that done, once I get that where I want it to be, then I'll be ready. But until then, I'm not. I can't do both. I can't do both because it'll piss me off. I'll be irritated trying to do both, and it'll burn me out because when you invite somebody in, they're going to be expecting things out of you, and I can't meet my own expectations then try to meet hers at the same time. I've tried it. I failed miserably, and it don't work. It just don't work. You gotta have some stability in your own life before you invite another woman in. It's just the way it is because they're not created or designed to care about that aspect. They might care about you. They might like you. They might have feelings for you. They might be interested in you, but they don't care about you not having the basics together. They don't care about that. They're not programmed to care. You're supposed to have yourself together before you even think about pursuing her. So she's just like if you try out for pro basketball, they're gonna expect you to already know how to dribble, how to shoot, how to run. They're not. They don't have time to be trying to teach you the basics. They don't have time, and they're not gonna waste their time on you. They're not programmed to do that. They have you have to perform at a certain level, or you're just out. That's just the way it is. It's the way it works. Or I mean, if you don't have your basics together, you might be someone else. You might want to consider changing your standard. Either you can lower your standards, or you can get yourself together and get to where you need to be to get the type of people that you're looking for. You have two choices because you have to ask, what do you want? What the type of woman that you want? What does she want? What does she expect? What are her expectations? Either you can meet those expectations or you can lower your expectations. That's the only choices you have. That's just realistic. It's just life. When you live life, I'm talking to things that I've done and things I've lived. This is just cold hard experience. But let's go on to the show, man. I done rambled on. Uh, let's get this on, man. Let's get to it.
Do not get into a relationship with a promiscuous woman. Like if your bros are telling you that she's been around town or she's been with your whole entire friend group, bro, what are you doing trying to cuff this shit? Yo, what is up, AD team? Austin Dunn, I'm back again with another video. So in this video, we're gonna discuss 5 red pill truths that every man should know. So
I don't know about every man should know, but we'll see. I hadn't watched this yet, by the way, but we'll if he says something I disagree with, I'll express it.
being involved in this red pill lifestyle and learning things over the course of this past year, there have been a few instances where certain things constantly pop up again and again, and you probably see them in the comments. And today we're going to dive deep into those certain topics and things, and it's really going to open your eyes, all right? So let's go ahead and get into the first point. All right, guys, the first point, and we have definitely seen this in the comments, and that is, she is not yours, it is just your turn. Now, I know,
And that only applies to one type of woman. That don't apply to all women. A lot of red pills, they try to associate it with all women. They try to say, oh, all women are only worthy of you. You have to treat all women this way. No, all women don't do this. All women don't think like this. All women don't just go from man to man to man to man to man. That's just not the case with all women. You can't. That's why a lot of these things are gonna get you. You're gonna wind up by yourself if you believe in this kind of stuff. If you go for this kind of stuff, you're gonna wind up by yourself. It's just all it is to it, because there are many types I've discussed on Terrell Speaks and on my other channels. Not other channel, on here before. One of my first streams on Twitch. There are multiple types of women. You can't associate all women with just your experiences. There are many types. There are types I haven't even experienced yet. There are types I haven't even met yet. There are some that are probably perfect for me. There's some, if I go to Australia, if I go to Africa, if I go to different parts of the world, I haven't been to a whole lot of places. So if I go outside of things, if I go outside of my comfort, who knows who I'll run into? Who knows the type of one I'll run into? Who knows? You know what I'm saying? So you can't base all women off your experience, because you only have one mindset and only a limited type of woman that you're willing to date. There are multiple types that you probably don't even know about that may be perfect for you. So you just can't associate all of them.
that might hurt some of you guys' feelings, but think about
It doesn't hurt mine because it's not true.
it. There's some truth to the statement, and there's a
Maybe some, and it only applies to one type of woman.
reason why it has gotten so popular in the red pill community. So if we think about it with your relationships, whatever, non-monogamous, monogamous, doesn't matter, inevitably and statistically, they are likely to end. So what you need to do is practically enjoy the ride for however long it may be, and enjoy the moments together, because
You could build forever with somebody. It just have to be the right someone. You don't have to. You don't have to go through life with this mindset, because this kind of mindset is depressing. There are phenomenal women out there. You just have to. They just don't look the way you think they look. You might have to adjust your preferences, adjust certain things. But if you want a forever woman, it's just certain things you have to. You might have to readjust your mindset. But a lot of people ain't ready for that conversation. They'll call you a red pillar, or call me simping for holding them accountable. You might have the wrong mindset. The type of chicks that y'all look for, yeah, you probably have to think that way. But you just have to. If you want a forever wife, they look different, they talk different, they think different. Everything's different. You might not find it in the women that you like. You might have to readjust your mindset. So, because if you change your mindset, then your preference will change with it. Everything changes with your mindset. If you're liking the wrong type of woman, it's because you have the wrong mindset when it comes to dating. It's just all it is. If you don't, that's just what it is. You can't get around that.
for whatever reason may happen, she might end up leaving you for a better option. She gets tired of you. We all have been there where,
It all depends on the type of woman.
things just get kind of dry, and then they start acting different. And then out of nowhere, you felt like you had her, and then bam, she's gone.
It's just like everything else, just like everything in life. If you have a relationship, if you have anything, you have to do what it takes to keep that thing alive. You have to do what it takes. If with a car, you have to do what it takes to keep it going. With a house, everything that you have to do what it takes to everything has to be maintained. If you have a marriage, it has to be maintained. You have to keep it. You have to constantly be elevated. You have to constantly be growing. That's why it goes dry, it goes apart. Because if you're not growing like this, you're growing like this. She might be going up and you're still down, or vice versa. But if y'all are growing together and building together and working together and accomplishing a goal together, that's usually when there's no common goal in mind. There are two people just dating just because. But if you have a common goal in mind and y'all are working together, building something together, ain't no way they'll just leave you because they have too much invested.
Gone. So even with myself, for example, in a non-committed relationship with few people, I guess you could say, is that I've realized that it could end at any given moment and I can't be mad.
Yeah, non-committed. Yeah, of course it could lead because there's nothing. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it all depends on the type of woman you deal with.
About it. So this is a term personally that I pretty much live by at this point in time, and I know that everything and anything will come to an end. So if you live by this statement too, then you're just gonna be, I guess, more grateful about your experience whenever it does end, you know what I mean? Because at the beginning, you already knew.
Just an ass comment, I don't care.
Gotprint provides hundreds of ways to personalize products for your home and business.
That's fast.
Are easy to
No, I don't care.
That it was. So might be a little bit pessimistic, but I would rather be grateful than disappointed. So that's the first one. Let's move on to the second one. All right, so point number 2 is that you cannot change a promiscuous woman, AKA,
Well, I guess I can agree with that one.
you can't change a hoe into a housewife. Have you heard that before? Because I definitely have. And one time I put on a cape trying to save one, and guess
Well, those type of, if you're chasing those type of people, you're only gonna wind up hurt anyway, and you're gonna require some healing.
what? It did not work out in my favor. So the biggest rule out of this one is that you don't want to put on that
And if you're chasing people like that, you have the wrong mindset when it comes to dating.
cape. You don't want to save these girls because I promise they might kind of manipulate you into thinking they're a changed woman, but whenever they are given the
They're only gonna date you to get what they want out of you, so they can, so they can do what they need. They may have bills that need to be paid. They might be certain situations that they may be in. They may be facing homelessness. There are a lot of them that are sleeping from hotel to hotel, going from house to house. A lot of them, they're gonna do what it takes to survive. So I wouldn't have a crazy mindset. I wouldn't let these type of women hurt me or burden me or make me think any type of negative way about life, because they're just trying to they're just doing what they do. And if you're out of mind. You're out of your mind if you think you can change them.
the chance to act in a promiscuous way, it's going to bother you, and it will be prevalent, and it will show up again. And there are a few red flags that you can actually screen out for a promiscuous woman, but you don't even want to bother it in the first place. And definitely do not get into a relationship with a promiscuous woman. Like, if your bros are telling you that she's been around town or she's been with your whole entire friend group, bro, what are you doing trying to cuff this chick? Because it's only going to come right back to you. Remember, you cannot change a hoe into a housewife, and if you try to, you're going to learn the hard way like I did. So hang up that.
But these are things that any man that was raised by a father or father figure, anything like that, this stuff we all should know, though. You can't, this stuff that's something we all should know.
Cape and only route with girls who don't give you those signals. Number 3 is that you must realize that you as the man are the prize. And
I don't know about that. We gotta talk about that one. The man being the sole prize. A lot of it stimulates when it comes to pride and arrogance and stuff like that. So I'll see what he says when it comes to this, because a lot of red pills, when they talk about this, it kind of spews out a bunch of pride and arrogance and saying women are kind of beneath them and stuff like that. But let's see what he has to say.
she must know that and feel that way about you too. For a lot of dating standards and what I've seen, women are positioning themselves as the prize and kind of putting men in a lower position, especially
It only happens when you let them. If you put yourself in a lower position, if you're not, let's say she's making $100,000 a year and you're barely scraping by, she might be out of your pay grade. Just being honest. Why you have to date a woman that you know? There has to be a dynamic. You have to date a woman. You can't date a woman that feels like she's up here and you're down here. If she feels that way, you're wasting your time with her, because she's not gonna do right by you. You gotta find, like I said, that goes back to you just finding somebody that fits your mode, that fits your vibe. You can't chase women that feel like you're inferior. I'm not. That's just the way it is. Everybody has everybody has a type. Everybody has somebody. Everybody has expectations. If she feels like she's up here and men are down here, you're wasting your time with her. You got to find somebody that fits your mode. You got to find somebody that actually has respect for men. Not saying that they're beneath the man, but actually has a respect for men, and is willing to let you show her that you are a man, and she can go ahead and be in her feminine and let you be in your masculine. That's just, I mean, it has to be natural. Otherwise, anyway, let's keep going.
If they don't feel like they match up to you from a status standpoint or from a money standpoint. And that is the whole reason why the dating dynamics are skewed and why women tend to date up and men tend to date down, right? So in that case, regardless, you should always feel like the prize. And if she's not showing signs that you are, for example, she feels like you should put her on a pedestal or she's making you chase her, then you already know that's not going to be the girl for you, bro. Remember.
And there's nothing wrong with dating and courting. There's the difference between chasing. I'm just giving my commentary. The difference between chasing, when you're chasing, she's running from you. She's not giving you any kind of signals, any kind of signs, any kind of thing, any kind of indication that, but you don't have to be red pill to know these things. Some of this stuff is common sense. I don't give myself a label or a title. I'm just a man. If you're chasing, that means you're putting in all the effort and she's giving you none. She's running from you. She's not showing you any signs that she likes you or cares about you. There's nothing wrong with courting and pursuing. If she shows mutual interest, there's nothing wrong with taking her on dates. There's nothing wrong with romancing her. There's nothing wrong with that kind of stuff. So if you believe that you don't need to do that and you're the prize and she's chasing you and pursuing you, you're out of your mind.
Remember, it all comes down to self-improvement with this red pill stuff and becoming the best version of yourself.
I'll never be a red pillar. Never, ever, 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 ever. There's some truth, but there's also a lot of lies surrounded by it, so I can't.
So in the end, you literally have no choice but to be the prize. Me, myself.
You have a choice. Both of y'all can be the prize.
Any girl that I deal with, I already know, and hopefully they should know too, that I am the prize in this relationship in whatever we are doing. And if they don't realize that,
why don't we just build something together? Why don't we just grow together? What happened to that? What's going on here? What happened to us growing and building together? Why can't you be the prize in my life? Why can't I be the prize in your life? Why can't it go both ways? How about I think that's how it works. That should be how it works. If you're the prize in my life, and if you're the prize in my life and I'm not the prize in your life, we have a problem here. Something there's a mess. There's a breakdown there. But how it works is you're the prize in my life. I'm the prize in your life. It's an exchange. Other than that, it's just it just makes the other person just seem insignificant, and I don't like that kind of, I don't like the way it's being worded.
That then I'm out. And the way I'm able to catch that is by their actions, how they treat me, what they say to me, little things like that over time.
And then you have guys that believe that they don't have to do anything. This is where this information goes to the toxic levels. You have men that believe they don't have to do anything in a relationship. They're just a prize and you should just submit. Well, if you're not contributing, you're not doing your part. You're not doing anything. You have to show yourself worthy of her doing that kind of stuff. Women are responsive creatures. If you want her to treat you like a prize, you have to show yourself valuable to her. If you're not paying any of her bills, you're not doing anything. If you're not doing anything to prove or show, then you're not gonna get. You get what you put out. That's just what it is. You're not gonna get. You're out of your mind. You think a woman's gonna submit to you, and she's making more than you. You're not putting in any effort to show her that you're a man. You haven't given or shown her anything with any of your, in any way. You haven't shown her anything. You haven't taken her out on a date. You haven't shown her nothing. You haven't romanced her. You haven't none of that stuff. but you want her to submit to you. Good luck with that one, buddy.
So keep becoming the best versions.
My inspiration is just flowing and coming.
Whatever.
Of yourself and put yourself on that pedestal. All right?
I'm not on a pedestal. We're gonna either me and her are gonna build together, or we're gonna say screw it. It's not gonna work.
I'm a humble person, and I've been told by some of my counterparts that sometimes I'm a little too humble and that I need to be a little bit more arrogant, and maybe that might help change your mindset too in regards to that prize mentality.
I'm not gonna be arrogant. I will never do that.
But remember, you, yes you are the prize. So have you ever heard a girl say, I'm friends with all guys because girls give me too much drama? Or maybe, don't worry, he's just a friend. We're just friends. He's one of my good friends from school, blah, blah, blah. Guys, and I've learned this a long time ago, and just me, myself, is that guys and girls cannot truly be friends. Now,
I can't say that. There are some men and women that see each other as brother and sister. There are some men and women that literally were raised together. Some men and women that really that line will never be crossed. So that theory is shot to hell.
now, there are some cases where they can, but overall, 90% of the time, here's what's happening. Either the guy has already smashed, and now they're
Not always.
friends, in my case with a lot of the girls I'm friends with. Two, the guy wants to be more than friends with her, so he's kind of just playing his position and waiting for the right time to slide in when she is most vulnerable. AKA, let's say you and your girlfriend are having issues, she goes to her guy friend to discuss the situation, and he's like, oh, you always got a shoulder to cry on and to suck on, if you know what I mean, right? So I have seen it firsthand with my eyes, and I've been in both positions. I've been that guy friend to where I'm just playing it cool, and the girl comes to me when she's having issues, and I've been in the situation where she told me it was just a guy friend, and in the end, it ended up being more than that. So the only way guys and girls can truly be friends, in my opinion, is if it's business related and it's professional. So they literally can't be just strictly business, or there's mutual non-attraction towards both parties. Meaning,
Now that one I can agree with.
I do not find her attractive, and she does not find me attractive at all either.
I can agree with that one.
But even then, if they hang out enough, there can be some sparks of attraction there. So if you have
Well, that's called guarding your heart, though. That's you don't have to be a red pill. These are not red pill. This is just stuff this is common knowledge. They take common knowledge. Some of this stuff is common, and anyone, you don't have to be a red pill to know this, though. That's what I'm trying to get. Even the stuff I agree with, you don't have to be a red pill to do this. I'm not. This doesn't make me a red pill because I already know these things. It's just. This stuff that men know. It's they taking something and they hyping it up. It's just like you have how would I say this? You have a lot of women that want praise and glory for paying their bill. I pay all my bills on time. I pay my bills and I keep my kids. I mean that's what adults do. All that stuff is what adults. That's what this reminds me of. You having a title and all this, and we're red pill, we're rah for knowing things that all other men should know. It's just regular stuff, regular knowledge. It's common knowledge. Should be anyway.
have a girl who has a lot of guy friends, and or she's telling you she only hangs out with dudes, keep that in the back of your head, all right? Let that be a red flag for you. I don't know about y'all, but the girls I deal with, I like them to have only girlfriends, and I like them to have a small circle of friends too. Not a lot of dudes. Big red flag. All right, so number 5, and this might surprise a bit of you guys, and that is that the red pill doesn't only apply to females. I know we talk about a lot about female nature and how females are, and females do this, females do that, and even in this video I talked about females mostly.
Men do stuff too. We do crazy crap too. We do a lot of stuff too. So, I mean, I can't blame women for everything.
But what I realized about this red pill stuff and realizing
Especially when we're hurt, we're broken, and we're crazy, we mess over women too. I can't sit here and pretend like we're innocent.
true reality of things is that it's not just female nature.
And a lot of things that red pillers think, they believe it's okay for you to have multiple women, but the woman has to be stuck solely on you, give all their time and attention to you when you run around with multiple women. That's what they believe. No, I'll pass.
Nature, but it's actually human nature. Guys actually can and do act the same way as some of these points that I'm talking about, given in the right situation. So let's kind of reverse it. And I'm not trying to be on the girl side or anything like this, but let's actually think about this, reverse it. Me, myself, if my girlfriend says, why do you have all these girlfriends? And I tell her, oh, they're just friends. But in the back of my head, I know that either they want to get with me, either I have already gotten with them, right? It can go both ways for everything. But the reason it's so prevalent in the female community is because of, like I said, the blue pill dating standards. The media was kind of brainwashed us over the course of years since we were young, and how women are raised by their dads, their moms, stuff like that. So it's kind of brainwashed society. But like I said, what I realized is it goes both ways. Dudes can flake too. I've flaked on girls all the time. I've led on girls who I had no interest in. I've lied to girls.
Well, I mean, he's proving my point, so I just let him talk.
I've done everything that I've seen in the red pill community, just vice versa. And I feel like that's where we're hitting the equilibrium, and that's where guys will kind of, come more into power, so to speak, by playing that reverse card in the dating community with all this stuff, everything we talk about. So just realize whenever you do watch these videos and ingest this information that it does mostly apply to females, but guys can also do it too.
It doesn't really mostly apply to any side. Both, well, guys do wrong too, man. Just as bad as females, sometimes worse. There are guys that are way worse than females. So I can't, I can't have I can't just have a negative outlook on women. Ain't nothing around here that's gonna make me think negatively, because we do messed up stuff too.
Guys, if you want more videos like this where I kind of dive deeper into points,
yeah, we'll see, buddy. Let's see. What time is it? Yeah, I'll go over another one. I can't, cause I'll look at that one, see what it says.
Create a professional logo that best reflects your brand. Just go to Wix Logo Maker. Answer a few questions about your business.
I don't care about that.
What is up, my brothers from another mother? Good morning to you. It is early. It is still kind of dark, and the sun will be in my face. I want to do this video today on what the red pill is, because
what is it?
I get so many questions from people in the comments. What's a red pill? What's this blue pill? I don't understand. All right, I think it's worth dedicating a small conversation to this. We'll try to get it done in the next 10 minutes or so. But simply speaking, the origin of the red pill, which I'll describe in a minute, is from it's a classic scene from the movie The Matrix. I'm not going to embed the clip into the video because YouTube doesn't like that anymore, and I've had videos removed. So linked in the description below, I'll show it to you. But if you don't have that on, your mobile device, or you watch this on a TV, I'll briefly describe it. All it is was that scene where Morpheus and Neo were sitting in that room.
And I'll go over what I either disagree with or what should be common knowledge between just men understanding life.
It was very dramatic with, lightning and, thunder going off in the background. And he basically offers Neo two options. You take the blue pill, you go back to sleep, walking through your life. Everything is what it always was. And you don't notice a difference. You take the red pill and you go down the rabbit hole, and you basically see how far it goes and what the truth really is. Again.
But in this case, instead of the truth, it's just a bunch of made-up theories off of hurt, pain, sadness, and not actually dealing with your trauma. You're just blaming other people for it.
Just watch the link in the description below if you have this on a desktop or something. You can click right now. So what does that mean to me and kind of everybody else out there, and how it's been adapted and been used? And there's been a lot of different labels, the red pill's been slapped as a label in many different ways, I should state, actually.
It kind of is.
We saw this documentary that came out a few years ago by Cassie J called The Red Pill, which really isn't what the red pill is. We've seen it used by other groups as well, and it's not necessarily always being applied in its intention. I think
that's why I'm actually listening to actual red pillers, so I'm not going to made up gibberish. I'm actually going to actual red pillars, quote unquote red pillars, because to see their point of view and get what they say, so I can either agree with it, disagree with it, or whatever. I try to be as authentic as I can with my work.
I think the intention was the truth, and all that the red pill is really designed to do, and it's a metaphor. It's you take this and you kind of wake up and you see everything as it truly is. That's really all that it is. The thing that brings most men to my videos, to the red pill community, to the Red Man Group broadcasts that we're doing, to people that write in the Manosphere as blogs, is usually some form of trauma. Something in a man's life is, a belief is completely shattered. And it can be anything from, I thought women were sugar and spice and all things nice, to we took our vows and said I do's until death do us part, and she still went and banged the pool boy.
That's just a lot of, all of that depends on our choices, depends on situations, depends on the nature of the woman. It's not it ain't saying that all women are bad. It's one type of woman. It's, like I keep saying, it's multiple types. But go on, sir.
To other things outside of that. It applies to other areas in life, I believe anyway, where you just don't exclusively say, well, I've been red pilled, sort of thing, and it's just has to do with women and understanding, intersexual dynamics. I believe it has a lot more to do with life in general. When they tell you, eat this or scoop out this yogurt because it's fat-free, but it's laden with artificial sweeteners and all kinds of other things that aren't good for you. They've been broadcasting to you publicly, blue-pilled, if you will, eat this, you'll be healthy, slim, and lose weight and look good. But the truth of the matter is, when you're red-pilled, it's crap and it's not good for you, sort of thing. So it applies to many, many different areas in life. And when you wake up,
that's just knowing what's good for you and what's not good for you. I wouldn't give it a label. A lot of they give labels to that's what I'm talking about. I guess they're saying red pills to see life the way it is, but you don't have to have a label to do that. You don't need a title. Some people call it realist, some people just being realistic. I don't need a label. I don't need to be a red pillar to know that a pork is not really all that good for you. I just don't need a label for that. I don't need a label to know that if water has dirt in it, it's probably not good to drink. I just don't.
Up to the reality of the way that the world is, it's mostly.
I just have common sense and experience in how life actually works. I don't call myself a red pillar. We're red pillars. We know there are good women and bad women. We're red pillars. We know peak feed is bad for you. We're red pillars. I don't have to be a red pillar to know those things. I don't have to be a red pillar to go to the gym every morning and work out. I don't have to do that. It's just having balance. It's managing I just call it managing my health. I don't understand this.
The mainstream media, it's mostly, the indoctrination.
It sounds like the woke culture. That's what it sounds like.
Indoctrination system that we call schools, the elementary school system, which really just kind of programs people to behave and act a certain way.
Although that might be partially true, you have think about it. I thought about this too. I think they just program it, but you think about it on your job, how you function through life. When you fill out applications, when you're let's say if you're trying to start a business or you're trying to do a job, those are forms, those are things that you're taught to fill out. They might, whatever the case might be true about the behaviors and all that stuff, but they teach you how to read, they teach you how to write, they teach you how to function, they teach you how to solve problems, like with geometry and all that kind of stuff, where they teach you the shapes and the dimensions and all that stuff. That's a basis of information. You know where people use that at? People use that when it comes to building houses or doing blueprints and things like that. All that information can be applied to other different fields of work. So this is something I sat down and thought about. when it comes to certain careers that you might want, certain jobs, certain things. When it comes to blueprint, like the stuff I learned in geometry, it really helped me out when it came to understanding blueprints and stuff like that. So, although they may have some programming when it comes to schooling, but they do teach you things that are useful in life. So I can't just completely throw it out.
To ways, even, it's even embedded in things like religion and other elements of our lives that essentially get guys results that aren't fulfilling, satisfactory, and don't lead them to a place of happiness and contentment. So there is no one thing, or
the only thing that's going to get you in a place of happiness and contentment is if you apply the principles that are, if you feel like certain, your mind, your heart, your body, it's going to let you know what needs to be changed. It's just like, let's say your finances make you depressed. It's probably need to be an area you might need to think about and work on and focus on. If you're depressed, and whatever you're feeling, this anxiety and depression towards, it's a signal to let you know, okay, that this is what I need to work on. This is what I need to do. If you follow those signals and apply principles in your life, you can achieve happiness in certain areas. That's why I'm achieving certain areas. That's why I said I was working on my finances, because I was depressed when it came to finances. So I'm going to do something. I'm doing things to change that, so that area can be satisfied. You can't,
one descriptive term. I think if you ask, 20 different guys, you'll probably get pretty close to 20 different answers, depending on the lens in which they view things. But how I apply it to my life, to kind of clarify to my channel, if you're new to the channel, hi, I'm Richard Cooper. I help guys become better versions of themselves. I coach them through shit they're stuck on. That's what I do. Been doing it for a few years now. It applies to so many different things. Money, the creation of wealth, business.
I turned these chords right here.
I'll let this play. I got something I gotta take care of real quick.
All you have to do is bring up a synth, drag the progression in, and now we have a chord progression to work with. Like, that's fire. Are you kidding me? Like, so easy. I'm already like so inspired to just start working and make this into a full beat.
Okay, I'm back.
Entrepreneurship. I mean, once you understand things as they are, not as you've been told they should be, then that's when I truly think that you become red pill. And
like I said again, you don't have to be a red pill to know this. So everybody, and then here's the thing about it: it's a whole community, but everyone has a different viewpoint when it comes to red pill. That's how I know everyone has a different viewpoint when it comes to it. All of them aren't the same. Some of them just think about it as women. Some of them think about it just, well, you're in reality, you understand reality. But I mean, there's different. I don't need a label. You know what I'm saying? I don't need a label when it comes to this. To understanding life, I guess they'd probably call me a red pill, but I guess they'd probably call me one, but I'm not. I don't give myself labels.
Still, I mean, I still feel like an apprentice. I don't.
Because I still have positive outlook on women. You just have to find a woman that looks out that so they might say I'm purple pill or whatever. I'm not a pill though. I don't care about those labels and crap. It's internet dribble.
Feel like I've mastered anything. A great book that I'm going through right now, I haven't quite finished yet, it's called Mastery by Robert Greene. And this notion of the apprenticeship phase usually lasts 7 years, 10,000 hours, depending on how you want to break it down and what that looks like. But I still feel like I'm an apprentice in this space to some degree, even though I've talked about it so much. I've put out like 500 videos. Most of them have been talking about things and lessons that I've learned or even shared. Some of them hard, some of them easier. And I've coached hundreds of men now that have been stuck on things that didn't serve them. Before I wrap up, I think it's worth probably mentioning again. I've mentioned it definitely before in my series, but I know there's probably going to bring some new people to this video as it's titled. What is a red pill? A lot of guys will kind of go through this phase in their life where their belief system shatters. It's basically called like a safe world theory. And when that safe world theory that you have about certain things supposedly being true, and you adhere to those rules, which are supposed to get you the results, you know, be kind to girls sort of thing, and they'll love you just as you are. Well, how?
Well, if you had a father, they'll tell you, because I had a father. Any father's going to tell you that I didn't go off based off society. Now, I went into the world off make-believe, but I wound up resorting back to what my father taught me when it comes to that things. No one's going to love you for who you are except for your parents. And you're lucky if that happens. Because some people don't even have their parents to love for who they are. Women don't love you for who you are. They love you for for your ability to produce and perform. They love you according to that. They love you according to your qualifications. If your ability to meet their expectations. I put it like that. Women love you according to your ability to meet their expectations. They don't love you for who you are. They don't care who you are. They want you to be able to either meet their expectations or get out of the way for someone else who can. That's all it is.
How's that been working out for you, sort of thing? You know, just be their friend.
And if they have expectations that you're not willing to comply with, just get out of their way. I mean, you find someone who, whatever you're trying to do, wherever you're going in life, if they're wanting you to bow down and kiss their feet and all this other crazy stuff, you know that goes against who you actually are and who you truly are. You know they're not for you. If you have to demean yourself, you have to emasculate yourself, you have to degrade yourself, you have to do all these kind of things that go against, that are contrary to your stance, to your belief system, to whatever it is, then you know that's not it's not for you. And belief system, I mean how you want to raise your kids, how you want to, you know, if you're she wants you to be feminine and whatever, she wants you to submit to her and all these other crazy things, then that's probably not the one for you. If it goes against the person that you are, because you have to discover who you are first before you can even know the type of woman that's going to compliment you. It's that much easier to pick it out. Trust me, you'll figure it out. Once you discover who you are and where you're going and what you're trying to do, your purpose and goals in life, it's that much easier to find who is and is not for you. Because the people that aren't for you, they're gonna have expectations that go against the person that you are as a man.
And again, you know, how's that been working out for you, sort of thing? You know, have you been getting the results out of life that you?
Some women don't mind you being nice to them. Some women actually prefer sweet men. I mean, it's not sweet as in, but some women actually prefer men to be nice to them. So that's not always true. That's why that's part I was going to get into. This is the meat I was going to get into. Don't believe that you have to be mean and crazy to women to get their attention. No, some women actually prefer nice men. Some women prefer a little more aggressive men. There are different types, so you can't just go off of it. It all depends on the type of woman. You have women that prefer that. You have women that don't, and then just, you know, and also, it's not that you have to be mean to women. Women want a balance. You have to have a balance between sweet and toughness. The toughness is for protecting them. Let's say if they're in harm's way, they're going to need somebody to protect them. They're going to need to see that you're able to protect them when something happens. They want you to be nice. They want you to be you know what I'm saying, respectful to them and romance them and do things like that. But they also want to see the toughness where not geared towards them, but they want to see toughness when it comes to you standing up for yourself. So it has to be a balance when it comes to that. It's not all about being this and that and crazy or whatever, being a stiff arming them and I ain't gonna do this. No. It's not all about that. It's just about being able to stand up for yourself. If they come at you in any kind of way, it's about you setting healthy boundaries. You telling them, you explain, look, you know, or even walking away when need be. If they're just completely toxic and just argumentative and continue to emasculate you, you don't have to entertain that. You can walk away and not look back. Even if the healthy boundary is you walking away for good. I mean, that's you standing up for yourself. They'll have more respect for you versus you sitting down like a doormat and taking it.
You want. And then when you realize that safe world theory kind of shatters and falls apart, then you've got a few choices. I mean, you can keep subscribing to the medicine that hasn't served you. It hasn't gotten you the results that you wanted. You're not feeling happy in life. Or you can update your beliefs and, so to speak, take the new medicine, take the red pill and see things as they truly are. So when you see that comment in videos or people mentioning it,
it's okay to see people for who they truly are, but you got to understand, just all women aren't the same. You got to also understand that just because one woman, because you have some women that cheat, you have some women that are promiscuous, you have some women that treat you like dirt if they don't like you. You have to also understand all of them aren't like that. You have to see, okay, you have to acknowledge that person for who she is. Okay, if I don't have money, I can't talk to her. You have to. That's an individual type thing. I can't. You're seeing her for who she is. You don't. She doesn't represent all women. You got some women that are broken that think all men are trash. You have to see her for who she is. You have to see that type of woman for who they are. And it's up to you whether you want to deal with them or not. You have to, okay, it's going to take a lot of patience. It's going to take a lot of me being there and nurturing those wounds. Am I willing to do that? Those are things you have to address you have to ask yourself when it comes to that. So the whole world isn't bad. All of life isn't pain. Some of it is, but not all of it. There are parts of life you can enjoy. There are women that may be for you and the relationship might go smooth, but you have to, that's all it is to it.
That's all that it is. It's not some magically woo-woo cult or something like that, or somebody owns.
Some people make it seem like a cult because the way they are, the way they talk. Look at the black manosphere, the black red pillars. They talk crazy.
Or it's copyrighted by anybody.
They spend all their life. They just spend all their time on the internet arguing with women.
It just is what it is. So, take it with a grain of salt, but just understand that it has many applications. But the underlying notion, the underlying truth of it, essentially, is seeing things as they truly are.
You don't have to be a red pillar. You don't have to be a red pillar to do that. You could be anybody and do that.
Removing the veil, the BS, the lies that you've been told, the sugar and spice and all things nice, notions, and you just accept things as they are. And once you can do that, as a man anyway, I find, when I'm talking to these guys and coaching them, and even for myself, which I had to go through, a lot of trauma a few years ago, you start to realize that you become more content, you're happy, you function better. I make more money now, I've got better relationships with people, I cut people loose that don't need to be in my life. There's a whole bunch of things that typically end up happening.
Don't have to be a red pillar to do this.
When somebody updates their beliefs and become red pilled. So I'll leave it at that.
I've updated my beliefs, but I'm not a red pillar. I agree with some of the stuff he says, but I'm not a red pillar.
I didn't want to ramble too long. I think that
I'm just a man. I'm just a regular man.
It gets the point across. If you
that works and takes care of my kids and tries to do what he can.
Have any comments, post them below on what you think, being red pilled is, or what your interpretation is. I'd like.
I don't have my own interpretation. I don't care. Let's go back because that was one video I wanted to see. It's a dating coach I used to listen to.
And definitely do not get into a relationship with a promiscuous woman.
Not that one.
No,
it's another one I seen. Where was he at? I wanted to. One I actually agreed with. I seen his video. They changed it up on me. There we go. That's who. That's who I'm.
If you're texting a girl you really like, but she's leaving you on red, waiting hours to reply, or ghosting you whenever you ask her out, then listen up and face this f***ing fact. She's always on her phone. Girls are always on their phone, which means she sees your messages popping up, but she's choosing not to reply. Why? Because you are boring. Your messages don't excite her, they don't stand out, and they don't give her any motivation to meet up with you. How do I know this? Because I know women. I know just how many messages.
Before the other video starts, I'll just address that. If she ain't responding to you, she's just not interested. It's not that deep.
they get each day. I know how most men text them, and I know that 99% of the men...
Or she could be busy, she could be at work, she could have a whole lot of things going on, and you might not be on the top list of her priorities. It's not that saying that she hates you or nothing like that. It's not something you should cry about, get your balls in a nutsack about. It's just saying.
Texting them are all sending the exact same needy nonsense.
It's not that you're needy, it's just that women are programmed to only... women are attracted to men that are getting things done, making things happen. If you have your own stuff, you have your own... See, the phone is mainly, if you're gonna talk to a woman, your best chance you have is to have some stability in your life. That's the way I'm going about it now. But that way, because you really want to get to meet her in person, take her out, enjoy her in person. That's the quickest way, the quickest you can do that. Take her out on a date, because women are dying to go on dates. There are a lot of women begging to go on dates. They can't wait. But it's a lot of men that simply won't approach them. They simply won't take them out. They won't romance them. They're waiting. They're begging. This whole group's full of women. I wish he would take me out. I wish these guys would take me out. Nobody asking me out. They want to be. They're begging for men to take them out. It's just guys are just like they're scared or something to ask a woman on a date. I don't understand that.
Good morning. What are you doing? How was your day? I miss you. I hope you sleep well tonight. And blah blah.
They don't mind that if it's a person that they're interested in. They only don't like it if they're not interested in you. It's not boring. It's just if that's all it's going to lead to. There's no other conversation. If there are no meetups, if there are no arrangements being made, for you to take them out on a date, then if that's all it is, they're not going to waste no one's going to waste their time with somebody. You wouldn't waste your time with anybody. So I mean, just saying.
Blah. The problem is, if you don't know the mistakes you're...
It's not boring, it's just every woman is different. Every woman wants and needs different things from a man. Some women appreciate that, some women love that, but if you run into a woman that doesn't, just don't do it. Don't get it.
You're just going to keep on making them. And no matter how amazing your chemistry might be in person, she'll forget all that in a heart.
Probably not. If she values the time that she spent with you, if it's amazing, and you just spend less time texting and more time, you communicate. Some women even prefer phone conversations. You talk to her, you just it's our job to make it to where we meet them in person. We spend time with them in person. They might enjoy texting, calling, talking on the phone, whatever, but it's our job to move the process forward. Once we see that they're interested, it's our job. The ball's in our court at that point. It's our job to set dates and make arrangements and different things like that.
Beat. If your texts don't make her feel the exact same way. Texting.
It ain't about texting. It's about meeting up in person and enjoying y'all time together.
Makes or breaks relationships. That's why you've lost girls in the past, and that's why you will lose this girl too if you do not do something about it and fix this problem before it's too late. It's time to do things differently.
The only problem is not enough guys asking these girls out on dates and actually getting. And when they go out on dates, they're not actually getting to know the girls. They're just gung ho about how good they look instead of trying to see what purpose that she can serve in his life.
It's time to stand out and make her chase you. Yes, you need to send her something she can't resist replying to.
I don't think you have to do all of that. I think it's just you set a date with a woman, you get to know her, you do it the practical way, and if y'all fit each other's lives, and you can pursue something further. But other than that, I don't believe in playing all the I don't know. People can say what they want and think what they want, but I don't think you have to do all that, because texting. The main goal is to set a date with her and take her out, make an arrangement. Okay, hey, what kind of food you like? I want to take you to this restaurant over here. I like Chinese or whatever. I want to go to Hibachi. Let's set a date for Friday at 7 o'clock. I mean, if you have, and to do that, it requires stability. If you don't have that stability, if you don't have a steady income, it's hard to do that, because you're gonna have to pay for dates and things like that. Of course, you're gonna have to invest. It's an investment. But if it don't work, if it don't pan out, then hey.
that resets her feelings for you and turns things around with her tonight. The good news is I can give you that. I can show you how to hit the hard reset
I bet it's behind a paywall
button and get her texting back and chasing you tonight. So now you have two options. Option 1, skip this ad and never see it again. Never master texting.
That's probably what I'll do.
And never become the best
because the only way, the best, I've already told you the secrets. You get yourself in order, get your finances in order, and when you meet a girl you like, ask her out on a date. If she agrees, you get to know her. You see if she's, you use questions to ask her and see if she will fit your mold or not. If she doesn't compliment you, then it probably ain't gonna work. I mean, but other than that, you go on, if the first date's successful, you go on a second date, go on a third date, and y'all working, you know, if she brings up a relationship and you feeling the same way she's feeling, there you go. It ain't hard, it's just people are making it hard.
Option on any girl's phone. Keep getting ghosted, keep getting friend zoned, and
the reason why I've had such a hard time in the past, I've done an experiment actually. The reason why I've had so much hard time in the past, it's hard to get a woman if you're broke. It's hard to get certain types of women. I can't say a woman. It's hard to get certain types of women if you're broke. Like, you may not be able to get the type that you want, but you can get a woman, but you might not get the type that meets your needs, the type of the woman that you actually like and then you actually want to pursue something with. You may not be able to get that if you're broke. You may have to upgrade your standards. You may have to tighten up. You may have to raise your game up a little bit when it comes to what you have, your wardrobe. You might have to tweak some stuff. That's all there is to it.
Keep losing the girls that mean a lot to you. Or you can...
I mean, it's just, you probably didn't mean anything to them, so it doesn't matter.
Choose option 2. Click the Watch Now button to...
I'm not doing that, sir.
Leave YouTube and watch a video I've prepared for you on the next page. In that video, you will discover how to turn things around.
I'm good. Let's go to the video now. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be why you should reject the toxic red pill.
And he's probably going to say some things that I agree with because I followed him for some time, and they do have toxic ways, and you'll see. Let's magnify it. Let's make it full screen here.
So I have an email success story, and this is from a guy who, he said he started following me about 5 years ago. And he says he's a good-looking, handsome dude. And when he was in high school, lots of women were telling him how good-looking and handsome he was, the hot cheerleaders. But he was, as he puts it, he was such a Disney nice guy that he always was getting friend-zoned. And then obviously 5 years ago, he came across this sweet little book with this shaved-haired dude on it.
I have that book, by the way. You want me to prove it? Hold on. I'll be right back. See, I prove stuff around here. I prove things. I don't just... I used to follow him and do things like that. So, some of his things work. I used to follow him.
Named Coach Corey Wayne. Started applying what he learned in 3% Man and got amazing results. And then he came across the toxic red pill community. And he said he got immersed into it, became really bitter towards women, and his success with women plummeted.
Exactly, because women don't thrive off emotion. Women are not attracted to emotional men. They're not attracted to men that are angry, bitter. That turns them off. They're attracted to men that get things done. if you're not getting things done, if you're not showing them stuff, if you're not proving yourself as being valuable to them, take them out on dates and doing things that they expect from men, then they don't care.
Stop being so nice to
I'll
win.
let it play.
Nice will never equal turned on or attracted to you. I know you want women to be wildly attracted to you, to approach you first, to win at the dating game and beat out all the other jerks around.
I don't care about none of that, actually.
You keep being so darn nice. What if I told you I have a formula that stops you from being too nice and has you being just the right amount of bad? A formula that you can use to win over any woman anywhere in a matter of minutes, no matter how.
It's called having your money right, texting them or calling them to set a date, meeting them in person, getting to know them in person, to see if they're right for you or not. It's not wasting a bunch of time, all that crap. Try to meet this person as soon as possible, whether out to eat or whatever. Dinner is the best place. Moving on.
And then obviously he was very frustrated, came back to my work, started applying it, and things returned to normal. So it's a really good, interesting success story from a guy, because I've talked about this off and on, and I talk about some of these guys I don't typically mention names, but in the toxic red pill community, it's just, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, to be honest with you.
They don't.
That's
they really don't.
And the beauty of truth,
they truly don't.
Is truth doesn't need any explanation. It doesn't have to prove itself. It's simply self-evident.
It is what it is.
So when it comes, like what I always say to people is like, even if you think I'm full of crap, if you apply what I teach, you'll see that it works for you. You can Google my name.
I have applied it before and it has worked.
You can go in the Reddit forums. Even when people go and write websites or articles talking all kinds of crap about me, usually there'll be dozens and dozens of people that have followed me and gotten great results will go and reply to those. Go look at the reviews on my books. They speak for themselves. So I have a quote that I wrote on this fun topic, because I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of people that are going to get upset about it, but I don't fucking care. I'm always going to speak my mind, and like Steve McQueen used to say, I live for myself and I answer to nobody. I don't take shit from anybody. And I'm certainly not going to put up with a bunch of beta males who don't know what they're talking about hating on me, or the girls I have on my channel, or my friends, or my family. And you shouldn't either. So, with that said, the quote says, most of the red pill community on the internet is a collection of wounded men who don't understand women, haven't had...
What have I been saying ever since I started this junk? Ever since I started Terrell Speak, when I talked about Terrell Speaks, they're all, yes, exactly. They're wounded. They failed to address their issues, and I didn't say it because he said it. I've said it because I actually watch and listen to their content. Go and watch the late Kevin Samuels. Go and watch all the other people that follow him, that have mimicked his content. Go and watch that stuff. If you don't believe me, go and watch it for yourself. You'll understand what I'm talking about.
Had any success with quality women and guys with serious mommy and self-esteem issues. The hallmark of the toxic red pill community is their judgmental attitude and bitterness towards women that belittles them, infantilizes them, and seeks to build wounded, insecure men up by tearing...
And if you have an issue, if you're wounded and you're broken, go do what I did and go see a therapist. Go invest. If you don't have Medicaid and all this other stuff, invest money into seeing a counselor, because that helps. It's an investment in your mental health. I don't see it as, oh, you're spending too much money. Go invest in your mental health so you won't be such a train wreck when it comes to relationships. Because women, like I said, women are also, they're not programmed to help you with your mental health. That's what the counselor's job. It's not her job. You're responsible for everything in your life. Okay? You're supposed to be independent, and you invite another independent woman in so y'all can build together. Two fully functional, healthy adults. If you're gonna be, you can't have a successful relationship you can't have that together if you're not fully functional. Your mental health sucks, or your physical health sucks, or you have to have somebody take care of you. You may run into a specific woman that will. Now, if y'all are together and something happens, that's different. But if you can't approach a woman and not be on your A game, it's just not gonna work. You gotta show her. You gotta give her. You gotta make her feel safe and secure. You can't make her feel safe and secure if you're needy and you come to her with all your problems, and it's a turnoff. She's not gonna like that. Moving on.
Women down with dehumanizing and condescending language, words, theories, and a cult-like belief in meaning.
It is a cult. I've called it a cult several times. Not in this video, but in life.
Meaningless platitudes. As Zan Piran says, a man who loves women is loved by women. Real men take extreme ownership of their lives, choices, mistakes, blind spots, and poor romantic choices.
What have I always preached about? That. It's all about what you choose, all about the energy you allow in your life. It's all about, that's why I even do it with myself. I don't tolerate certain things, not even from you, not even from yourself. I hold myself accountable. I don't blame anything else. When something goes wrong in my life, okay, I could have did that better. I could have chose this. It's all cause and effect. Okay. Who that? Kill two birds with one stone. Get you a chick who is also a therapist. Nah, I'm just talking trash. You speaking facts. Preach on. I actually dated therapists, but think about therapists. I know you just talking, but I know you just saying stuff. But I've talked to a couple therapists. They got their issues too, you know. But even if you dating a therapist, cause I've dated them too. I know you just talking trash, but I'm gonna give an example too. They see your issues as a turnoff. That's why I say certain issues I have, I just say for my therapist, because when let's say you meeting this woman and you're going through a lot of stuff mentally, you can't pour out into that woman. That's why you have to have a therapist. That's why the actual therapist comes in and says you can do all your crying and pouring out and whining to her. If you're a man that you're a very emotional man, and you just getting to know a woman, you just meeting her and y'all going on dates, you cry and pour out all that other stuff to your therapist. But because I'm not saying that women aren't even willing to see you weak. I'm not saying that, because it's called character development. If you see it in the stories and movies and things like that, once she's gotten to know you, once she's fallen in love with you, once you've proven yourself that you can be the safe, secure, and strong man, once you've proven that to her, now you can confide in her with certain things. Now you can come to her with certain issues. But until you've proven yourself, until you've given her a reason to lower her guard, until you've shown her that she is safe with you, she's secure with you, and you are the man that you're presenting yourself to be, then at later on down the relationship, once all that is developed and she's developed those feelings, you can confide in her with certain things. I know that too from experience. Some women you can talk to about anything but you have to develop and establish yourself. You have to show her that, hey, on a consistent basis, that you've been there for her, that you've carried her, that you've been the man that you say you are. All they want you to do is make your actions line up with your words. If they don't, then she can't trust you. She can't possibly love you. She can't possibly respect you. It's all a shot to hell. And that's basically how that goes. But let's keep this going.
Because they know that is the only way to shape and change their destiny to reach their full potential. A man who blames others for his poor choices, knowledge gaps, and blind spots becomes unable to fix himself, his life, and become the man he needs to be to attract what he really wants and deserves in life.
And that statement is true, because we have to attract women. That's all across nature. You look at nature. You go look at Discovery channels and all that stuff. You see the males. They do things. They do certain things to attract the female species. It's no different for us. I don't know why we think it's any different. We think women are just supposed to chase us or follow for us. You have to attract women. You have to be what that woman wants. Whatever type of woman you like, whatever you want, you have to find out what she wants, what she likes. If you're not willing to go that far to become what she likes or what she wants, it's just human nature. It's not simping. That's why I always give advice to say you have to become the best version of who you are, and you just find a woman that whatever you're giving out, whatever you're willing to give and distribute, you have to find a woman that wants to receive those things. And say if you're the type of guy that likes to do flowers, you like to do cards and romance and all that kind of stuff. Find a woman that's willing to receive and appreciate those things. Because if you date a woman, you gotta find somebody that matches your love language. If you run into a woman that wants to talk on the phone all day, every day, if you know you're not that type of dude, you have to understand that you're gonna have to either compromise or try to, or even if you're not willing to compromise, it might not be the woman for you. It's just you just have a decision to make. I'm not saying she's good or bad. It's just everybody. They all have expectations. Every woman you meet is going to expect something.
I think that's one of my favorite quotes of Zan's. A man who loves women is loved by women. That is absolutely true.
Yep. I don't hate women. I ain't mad.
Always know when it's over. When she waits hours to reply to your text.
I don't
when
care
her
about
text
this.
gets short.
She could be at work, sir. Who cares?
So, with that said, let's go through his email. Corey, I found your work about 5 years ago after a heartbreak. How most of your audience does, I'm sure. After I Googled how to get her back. I watched nearly every video and have listened to your audiobook over 20 times. Although I never did get this girl back, you taught me much more important lessons that helped me attract even better women into my life. Well, for the guys that are trying to get an ex back, what I always say is you'll either attract her back or you get somebody better.
Pretty much.
It's as simple as that. And like I said, all you got to do is look at the reviews and read the reviews in my books. It speaks for themselves. Growing up, I was always a good...
Let me see what you're saying. Let's see here. You can... Okay. You can't overextend what you intend to give. A lot of times we lay it on thick and set false narrative as to who we truly are. Keep it a buck from the beginning. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's what I was saying right there. That's what I was trying to... You said it better than me, though. You find out who you are. You become who you... In order to do that, what you're saying, in order to do that, you have to know who you are. For a lot of men make this mistake. They try to pursue women and don't even know who they are. They don't even know where they are. They don't know where they're going. They just say, okay, I like girls. I'm gonna start dating. You have to discover who you are first. You have to know in order to know what you're willing to give and your abilities. That's a good point because I was gonna get to that too. You have to know what you're willing to put out. If you don't know, let's just say you bench pressing, right? Your max is 250. If the requirement is 700, you probably can't. You might not be able to do that. Like I say, you can only work 8 hours a day. If that job requires you to work 15, 16 hours a day, you can't do it if you have other obligations, if you have other things. You got to know what you're willing to do, what you aren't, because a relationship is a job. That's all it is, an obligation. You have to be able to meet her standards. If you're not able to meet her standards, if her standards are unrealistic compared to your ability to perform, I don't care how much you like her. I don't care how many feelings you have for her. I don't care. You can be madly in love with her, but and we lay on thick because we're so happy that she's giving us her attention. I've learned that too the hard way. I've been just had the crazy feeling for these chicks, but their expectations were way above what I was able to do. So eventually they're gonna realize that, and they're gonna get, they're gonna lash out. They're gonna have resentment towards you because they're gonna feel like you led them on. When in actuality, you really didn't lead them on because you really did care about it. You really did like them. You just couldn't meet up to their standard, but you tried everything you could to meet it. But it's never gonna be good enough because what they're looking for is more than what you can put out. So you basically have to be realistic. So you might not always wind up with the woman that you want. You have to be realistic when it comes to, you have to match up what you're willing to put out with what she's expecting. Your output ability, her expectations, they have to match. Just like putting a plug into a wall. It has to match. It has to fit. If it doesn't, it's just that simple. A lot of people don't understand that. And they, I want this woman, I like this woman, but she may want you to make $100,000 a year and you're not making anywhere near that. I mean, you have to see it for what it is. I'm not saying she's a good or bad person. It's just those are her standards and you're not able to meet those standards. So you have to be realistic. Should I even pursue this woman? Or am I wasting her time? It's just, but let's get on to the video.
Good looking guy and had women approach me, but I was such a Disney nice guy that I would always get friend zoned and frustrated. So this guy's a handsome dude, but yet you give off the wrong vibe, like I talk about in 3% Man, because I experienced this as well, and I'm just an average looking dude. And when I look back on my time in high school, I remember women that I was friends with that I knew that I could tell they were into me, but I had no idea what the hell I was doing. I completely fumbled the football on just numerous occasions. And so for me personally, I love getting emails from guys that are in high school or college, and they didn't have to go through what I went through. They're having a great time. They're having great memories. They're forming their first girlfriends, or when they lose their virginity or whatever it happens to be. They're really having great experiences and great memories, whereas I missed out on most of that stuff, to be honest with you. I didn't have those kinds of great memories. That came later for me.
Me too.
All through school,
I'm in my 30s.
I would have even the prettiest cheerleaders say
I'm in my 30s. I'm just now understanding women. I'm just not understanding life in general. That's why they say a man ain't he's not a man till he's almost 40 or whatever. I don't know if I don't know if it all depends on your ability to mature and learn and grasp information and understand life. Once you actually see life for what it is, just like I see women for who they are. I don't try to, they should be this and this and this and that. I see women for who they are. They're not designed. I know what they're not designed for. You can't go to them crying about all your feelings, all your emotions, if y'all ain't really met. You don't really know this chick. If y'all are married, y'all been married for 10 years, 15 years, that's different because y'all have established a bond. It's just character development. It shows you this in shows and movies. Over time, those people get to know each other, and after a while, you feel like you can't live without that person because there's a bond, there's a foundation established. But you can't do that with a woman you've never met, you don't really know that well. She doesn't have any attachment to you to really even, she doesn't have anything invested in you to even care about you. You have to show yourself and prove yourself and establish something. That's all there is to that, but moving on.
They thought I was cute and good looking, but I had no idea how to behave around women because my dad was never really there to teach me. So I would fail horribly and think maybe there was something wrong with me.
I had a dad and I still didn't. I still had to figure it out. It was still hard, even because he told me certain things, but I didn't actually believe it. Because he was telling me about real life, he was telling me about real experiences, but I was still in my own little world until I actually started going through different relationships. I was like, okay, he actually knows what he's talking about. But yeah, he's if you have a father, they're gonna tell you, like, no, son, that's not that's they're gonna tell you what's not good.
Or maybe that girl just wasn't the one, or even worse, that if I'm her friend long enough, she'll eventually realize I'm perfect for her.
That's unrealistic.
She says, yeah, I was that guy, and I used to wait for his shot.
I've been that guy several times.
I tried that too. That didn't work.
Me too.
However, since finding your work at 30 years old, I have now had numerous women from TV anchors to beauty queens enter my life and go crazy over me. I'm sure that's just really tough to deal with. I'm writing to you, though, because you actually saved me from the red pill. He says, here comes the hate mail. I'm used to it, dude. Fuck them if they can't take a joke, as Mick Jagger said. And got me back in touch with your teachings. YouTube algorithms introduced me to red pill guys a couple of years ago. And while there are some good takeaways from works like The Rational Male, which I think is a good book and every man should read, me personally, over time, I found my success with women deteriorate in correlation to my bitterness from the red pill community. And that's the problem with it. I had no issue meeting women, but I found myself getting into more drama and bullshit than before, but closing the indoor Olympics less. Yep. Probably because they could feel my negative energy from that. That is exactly why. Women are very intuitive. They're much more connected to their emotions than us guys are, and they can feel your energy. It's your vibe.
Well, I can too, because I'm an empath, so I can feel other people's emotions too. So I don't think it's just solely based off women. What is this? Take an end this and level you. Let's see. Still okay. I gotta see what you're saying. Yeah. Let's see. It's not if you get at this level, you've been through pretty much all of this stuff. Yeah, you have to have experience. You do. I agree, and that's the reason. I don't know. That's how I was able to comprehend and deal with. I had experience with women. I've had failures, success, and failures. Failures do hurt. They really do hurt. But success, you learn from both. So I don't regret the failures, because that's the only way I could learn was by failing. I failed a lot with women. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, well, I've had all this great success with women. No, I failed a lot with women. I've pissed a lot of women off. I've messed up a lot of relationships. I've bumped my head. I've had scars. I got battle scars. I've messed up a lot of stuff. You have to study women. You really do, because it's hard. I spent a lot of time trying to learn and learn their language, failing. Even though I felt a certain way about them, even though if you can feel a certain way about them, if they don't see it visible, if they don't see it manifest, they're not going to believe you. You could tell them that you love them, that you care about them. If they're not seeing it, they won't believe you. They're going to think you're lying. They're going to think you're playing games with them, because they're not seeing. They go off what they can actually see. They go off tangible evidence. If you're not showing, that's just how they operate. You can say what you want. If you think you could just tell a woman something and not show it, it ain't gonna happen. You have to show. They only believe what they see and feel and can experience. You can't just tell them things and they believe it.
Vibe ain't your looks. I honestly started to hate the person I had become.
Fact. Whenever a woman starts to like a guy, there's almost always a moment where she'll pull back her attraction. Her interest will seem to dwindle. Her texts will slow down. In your gut, you can feel something changed and she's slipping away. See, you might not know this, but 99.9% of women will instinctively test a man within the first few weeks of talking to him. I'll tell you exactly what this test is and how to respond in a second. But as innocent as this test seems, it secretly shows us how much boyfriend
you can listen to all the advice on the internet.
It shows us if you're...
You can listen to all the advice on the internet, but if you don't experience women and deal with women and date women, you won't know.
In the past months, I have taken a step back from all that and revisited.
I need one more viewer. That's all I need.
Visited your teachings to see where I started down this path and where I might have gone wrong. I happily found that you too pointed out in recent videos that the community has grown very toxic. Since readjusting my outlook and being a Corey Wayne Born Again student, I have seen my success with women return, probably because I got rid of that chip on my shoulder that they could sense. Absolutely, your vibe totally changed. Back to one of truth and kindness. Not being too nice, kind but dangerous. Dangerous masculinity.
Yeah.
And I am now once again having beauty queens travel from other cities to see me again. Not an exaggeration, I'll send pics. Thank you for turning this once hapless Disney nice guy into a man that my best friends envy. I can honestly say you saved my life. Thank you, and don't call me Bob. You're welcome, Bob. Congratulations. And as far as you saying I saved your life, you did that, dude. You did the work, and you need to give yourself credit for that. All I did was show you the way. Because knowledge, obviously knowledge from a great book like 3% Man, Mastering Yourself, a book of self-reliance, and obviously my latest, Quotes, Ruminations, and Contemplations. It's all potential power. It doesn't help you unless you actually...
Appreciate that, Doc. That's why appreciate that, man.
Apply it. You must participate in your own rescue.
Oh, and I do all types of content, like I do anime, so you might see other streams too sometimes. I do anime stuff, I do news stuff, I do this dating stuff too sometimes, but I'm probably gonna hover around those areas for a minute, but because it's tons of content when it comes to that stuff. So yeah, I'll be so, you know.
And if you're following some of those guys, those toxic red pill guys that just complain about single moms and how all women are horrible, it's like, I mean, at the end of the day, if you see assholes everywhere in your life, and no matter where you go, you're running into nothing but assholes, well, guess what? You're the asshole.
Exactly.
And it's always important to keep your life an asshole-free zone. You get these sweet mugs at...
You're responsible for the energy that you entertain. You're responsible. Yeah, you're... Cause otherwise, if you... That's basically what that is. You responsible. Because when I stop entertaining negativity, that's when all that stuff changed. I stopped entertaining toxic women. I stopped entertaining women that only wanted me for cash out, for money. I just stopped entertaining them. You know, you choose. You get to choose that kind of stuff.
At teespring.com, the Coach Corey Wayne store, as a gentle reminder to yourself and the people around you of how you roll. Like the late great Steve McQueen said, I live for myself and I answer to nobody. So with that said, if you got a question or a challenge...
That's it for that video. But that's... But I usually talk about a lot of different topics. Like I said, I wanted to do something light because my last stream was about a news stream, but it went deep because this woman, she had gotten sentenced to, she was underage, and she got sentenced to, she was a minor. She was being trafficked. You know what trafficking is, but she was being sentenced. She was facing 10 years in prison, and she had problems. She had to pay the other family $150,000, and I was enraged, and they did a follow up on it, but because I got a team that sends me stuff, so to go over, but I don't think I'm gonna cover it. Even if they have a follow up after that, I don't think I'm gonna cover it because a lot of heavy stories. I gotta watch what heavy stuff I do, but this was a fun one because I get to actually express what I know and not get upset or get angry and stuff like that. Sometimes I like to share my information, what I know, and things that I've experienced too, without having to get angry all the time. So, I mean, I'm gonna, but I gotta appreciate the follows, I appreciate the support and the comments, but I'm gonna probably download this one and then go upload it to my other channel, my Terrell Speaks channel, and I'm gonna go ahead and get off this stream because I'm kind of hungry. I got food waiting on me, So I'm gonna I'm gonna go eat my dinner, and then I might come on later to do what's that? If I don't do the anime stream today, it'll be tomorrow. But yeah, but appreciate y'all for following. And I'll catch y'all on the flip side. If I might do it tonight. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. But see y'all later. All right. Appreciate that, brother. Peace out, man.